Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tie a Capelin Baitfish fly for salmon and steelhead. The pattern is like the Niagara Shiner, where I use metallic tape and Mylar in the construction of the fly. The hook is a saltwater streamer hook, size 2. The thread is a Semperfli Nano silk 18-aught white. First I'm going to measure the metal tape on the hook and mark the end of it in behind the eye and just even before the bend. Start the thread at that mark and trim the tag. Prepare a segment of the synthetic white polar fiber. Comb out the short fibers so you're only left with the long fibers and split it in half. Secure it from underneath the hook with the ends at the mark and tight edge-to-edge wraps along the straight portion of the hook, even with the point. Next, add the wing and flash pearl fibers on top of the hook. The ends are even with the bottom polar fiber wing. Secure the same way and trim both ends flush. Add the gray polar fiber on top of the pearl fibers slightly longer. Then add the black polar fiber on top of the gray. And finally the purple flash fibers on top of the black. Trim the tag ends flush, whip finish, and trim. Next, peel the backing off the metal tape and fold it over the threaded area and secure. Trim the tape belly shaped using straight and curved scissors. Take the silver Mylar, measure, trim, and remove the core. Slide the Mylar over the tape, secure the rear part of the Mylar, whip finish, and trim. Wrap the front part of the Mylar and stretch it over the tape and secure. Trim the excess Mylar and build up the thread. Secure the 6mm 3D eyes from underneath the hook in front of the Mylar with figure 8 wraps and add head cement. Next, add the white polar fiber from underneath the hook and secure behind the eyes. Then add the gray polar fiber along the sides, even with the belly wing behind the eyes. Next, add the black polar fiber on top of the hook. Slightly shorter than the previous top wing. Then add the purple flash, same length as the black polar fiber. Trim the excess fibers around the eyes flush. Build up the thread and add head cement. Next, split the thread. Wax both sides. Add silver ice dub loosely. Add the dubbing twister doubled over the thread and spin to secure the dubbing. Brush out the dubbing. Switch over to a hackle plier and wrap between the front of the eyes. Secure by the thread and brush out the dubbing. Next, add the white polar fiber from underneath the hook in front of the eyes and secure. Slightly shorter than the previous belly wing. Then add the black polar fiber on top in front of the eyes. Slightly shorter than the previous top wing. And add the purple flash. Same length as the black polar fiber. Trim the excess fibers, build up the thread, whip finish, and trim. Next, take the same thread and secure all the fibers, top, bottom, and the sides in behind the eyes. A dozen or so wraps, trim the tag, whip finish, and trim. Next, take a dozen strands of light blue crinkle flash and secure it along the side of the wing and trim it shorter than the main wing. Repeat on the opposite side and trim the flash even with the other. Take the red thread, wrap over the white collar, whip finish, and trim. Add head cement to the wrap. Next, start the same thread in front of the eyes and trim the tag. Split the thread, wax both sides, and add red ice dub loosely. Add the dubbing twister doubled over the thread and spin to secure the dubbing. Brush out the dubbing and switch over to a hackle plier. Wrap the dubbing tight in front of the eyes going forward edge to edge and secure by the thread and trim the excess. Build up the thread and brush out the dubbing. Then add a small clump of blue ice dub and secure it the same way as the red. Secure by the thread, trim, and brush out the dubbing. Next, add the wing and flash black fibers on top of the hook. Then add the white polar fiber underneath the hook, slightly longer than the dubbing. Top off with black polar fiber, slightly shorter than the black flash. Add and secure a small section of rabbit strip underneath the hook, tight to the white polar fiber for the throat. Next, prepare 2 silver badger hackle tips. Measure slightly shorter than the longest part of the top wing, left and right. Flatten the stems and secure on each side above the eyes. Trim the excess wings, stems, and the rabbit strip on a taper in behind the eye. Build up the thread and whip finish. Finally, add about 6 strands of dyed olive peacock herl on top and secure. Trim the excess, build up the thread, whip finish, and trim. Use a lighter to eliminate any strands protruding past the eye. Add the black thread to cover the white, whip finish, and trim. And add thin head cement. Once the head is completely dry, add the 5-minute epoxy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and hit the like button to see more of them. Thank you.